Bella DePaulo is glad if you're happily married, but she is perfectly happy being single.
I would love to have someone who took care of my car or someone who cleaned up the dishes after dinner. But then I'd want them to leave.
From yourself to your dog to your spouse are significant others. That's on the TED Radio Hour from NPR.
Click and clack the Tappert Brothers, and we're broadcasting this week from the warranty department here at Car Talk Plaza. Now, we discuss warranties all the time.
All the time. It's important in automobile purchase.
And each and every one of us has at one time or another bought a product where you get some kind of a warranty. It says this item is warranted for 1 year, parts and labor.
And you got to fill out the little thing.
You may have other rights which vary from state to state, especially if you live in Nome,
And we're not going to tell you what they are if you don't know them. That's tough.
Yeah, they should have to tell you, shouldn't they?
They should have to tell you.
But they don't.
But they don't. I always fill these things out for like a toaster or a VCR. And you always wonder, well, geez, will the warranty be void if I don't do this? I always wonder. I always send them in.
It's not void.
Here's
if you don't
one.
Do it.
Thank you for purchasing a McDonnell Douglas military aircraft. In order to protect your new investment, please take a few minutes to fill out the warranty registration card below. And it asks for your name and all. And, which model aircraft did you purchase?
They want to know your income.
F-14 Tomcat, F-15 Eagle, F-16 Falcon. Please check where this product was purchased. Received as a gift? Catalog showroom? Sleazy arms broker? Please check how you became aware of the McDonnell Douglas product you have just purchased. Heard loud noise, looked up. Store display, espionage, recommended by friend/relative/ally. Please check the products that you currently own or intend to purchase in the near future. Color TV, CD player, ICBM, air-to-air missile, killer satellite. To help us understand our customers' lifestyles, please indicate the interests and activities in which you and your spouse enjoy participating on a regular basis. Golf, boating and sailing, running and jogging, sabotage, destabilization/overthrow, gardening, crafts, wines, interrogation/torture. Hey, why not? I mean,
They have to gather market data just like everyone else, right?
Exactly. What are they supposed to do? Sit there in a vacuum, so to speak, and make
warplanes?
Implements of destruction? Of course not. Marketing is everywhere.
Isn't it?
I used to be a marketer.
Yes, what happened to you?
I quit.
Give up the push card. Listen, if you have a question about the warranty on your car, or any other question for that matter, you can call us at 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
This is Rick Norton, and I'm calling you from Fort Worth, Texas.
Hi, Rick.
Yeah.
Is that Rick with a K?
Yes, R-I-C-K, that's it.
Okay, well, just,
Yeah,
you never know.
Fort Worth. Yes, indeed.
Well, what I'm calling about is I have a 94 Toyota. It's a Camry, and my brakes have got an awful squeal. Now, the brakes have already been replaced, the pads, the rotors, everything, but they're still squealing. The question that I have is, a friend of mine where I work has offered me this sage advice to take a small bead of lithium grease and put it down the center of the brakes, and that will eliminate any type of squeal.
Center of what? Of the pads?
No, the center of the
back side of the pad.
Yeah, the center of the inside of the rotors.
Good.
I'm not really sure exactly where to put it.
Maybe you shouldn't exactly be doing it.
I wouldn't do it. That's why I'm asking.
Who did this? Was this a brake job that you did in your driveway?
No, this was done by a nationally known brake chain.
Midas?
Yes.
Just a guess. I mean,
No, that's good. That's good.
That's who it was, and I've taken it back to them once before and told them, hey, look, the brakes are squealing. Can you adjust it? And they did, and then for about a day or so they didn't. And when I went back to take it for the third time, they said, well, it sounds like whenever you come to a stop sign, you're slamming on your brakes and it's causing them to glaze over.
They're blaming you. That's the
Exactly.
classic approach.
As they were explaining this, did your eyes start to glaze over?
You know what to do? Next time a mechanic blames you, give him a dope slap. Get out of here. It's not me. It's the brakes.
Well,
sick of it.
Yeah, I am too.
Tell him you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore.
It's the front brakes that are making the noise, I take it.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the only ones with the rotors on them.
Right. The rear brakes on this car probably have drum brakes.
Yes.
If they want to make you happy, they can, from Toyota, buy the shim kit. The Toyota sells a set of Teflon shims, which will go in place of in addition to this grease, by the way. You'll take the calipers off, and with the pads in place, you will put a very light coating of grease on the pad itself, the metal part of the pad, the back side.
Not the front side.
Not the front. No, you don't put any grease between the pad and the disc.
No.
That would make the noise go away, but it would make it difficult to stop.
It might make you go away.
So you put a very thin coating of this grease, and then you put this Teflon shim, which has little clips on it, and then you put another very thin coating of grease, and you do this to all 4 pads. You put the calipers back on, and the noise will be gone.
Well, I guess my question is regarding them is why didn't they do it the first time?
Well, most of the time they don't squeal, and the truth is it's probably you.
Well, I can't come over there and hit you because I'm on the other end of the phone.
I mean, there are certain brake pads that will squeal and make other annoying noises, depending upon how the person that drives the car stops.
Okay.
And we've discovered over the years
that it's you, Rick.
that the factory pads, no matter what you do, almost never make noise. But the non-factory pads can perform more than adequately in 95% of the applications. But in those 5% where we have noises or other troubles, we just go ahead and put the factory pads in. And there are many cars on which we use only the factory pads because we know that we're apt to run into a problem if we don't.
So if I go over to the Toyota house and get the little shims that you're talking about, I can take it to them and they can, because they've got a lifetime warranty, they can put it on for me?
Now, here's what I would do. If you're going to go there, buy the shims and the pads.
Okay.
From the Toyota dealer. Go back to Midas, tell them you would like them to refund you the money for the pads and put on these Toyota pads and shims, and the noise will be gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm sure they'll be really happy to do this.
Okay.
Well, they will be.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll learn something, too.
They've already learned it. That's why they blamed Rick.
All right. Well,
Good luck, man.
thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay.
1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
This is Joan in Arlington,
Arlington what?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Well, there happens to be in Arlington, Massachusetts.
There is.
really?
There's
Happens to be.
There's
I
an
knew about the
Arlington.
one in Texas, but
And
I didn't
one
know
in
about
Texas.
that
There's an Arlington in every one of the 48 contiguous states.
But none is as noteworthy as Arlington, Virginia.
No.
Everyone knows where that one is.
Everyone knows.
So what's up, June?
Joan.
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 June.
That's close. I've been called June.
I had the J part right anyway.
The month is June.
I've been called
No, it's
Jane.
not.
Jane.
All right, Jane, what's up?
Well, I'm hoping you can resolve a difference of opinion I have with a friend,
Male or female friend?
female.
Okay.
It involves speed and the lifespan of a car.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion that if you don't go super fast on the highway, you will be preserving the life of your car. The engine will last longer.
Well, define super fast.
70, 75.
So you are a proponent of driving 65 or less, and your friend drives
75 or more.
Well, when you can. I mean, on the open highway, or, there
Sure.
are places where the speed limit is 65 and people are clearly going, 75.
Right.
whatever.
right. Well, is that the range of it, 65 to 75? Because if that's the case,
No, if it's greater than 75.
well, I mean, does it have to be much greater than 75?
Oh, I don't know. I'm probably not over, 75. I
Oh, okay.
think, but
Gotcha. Well, I mean, here's the basic trade-off. If you drive faster, you get there sooner,
right.
right?
Duh.
Which means you're putting less time on the car,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay, let's see where
Just
this
like,
is going.
Just like if you were low on gas, you should drive as fast as possible.
No.
So you run out of gas sooner while it's still daylight.
It's still daylight, and you might be able to coast
you get
the
going
last
fast
7 miles. No, but I mean, that is really the trade-off, and the difference between 65 and 75 isn't much.
Isn't much. However, the drag or the wind resistance goes up with the square of the speed.
Yeah. Like if it were 55 versus 75, it would be double
Well,
almost.
you're using more gas.
Yes, so you would use much more gas because the wind resistance would be twice as much.
Not only would you be using more gas, which we know, I mean, the faster you go, is as long as you're not traveling in a vacuum, the more fuel it's going to take because of the wind resistance, but also the harder you make the engine work. So the engine runs hotter. The harder equates to hotter.
Right.
So,
but hotter equates to wear.
And shortened life.
And
so
shortened life.
If you consistently drive at very high speed, but there's hardly much difference between 65 and 75 for it to make that much of a difference. But if the difference were between 55 and 85, I'd say you'd see a significant difference. But more important than how fast your ultimate speed is, at least if we're talking about 65 and 75, is how fast you get there. No, really.
The wrecking of a car is much more a function of acceleration than it is of speed.
So if you're going a constant, steady speed.
The constant, steady speed's okay, but if you're, if for example, if you hit the entrance ramp on the highway and you're doing essentially zero, and you floor the thing and keep it floored while your head is snapped back so far that you can't see the speedometer, and then when you think you've passed everyone, you'll ease up on the gas pedal and you settle into like a nice cruising speed of 80. You'll wreck the engine and the rest of the car, too.
Right, but if you get up to that speed in a sane way, the car will last forever. And it won't make much difference whether you drive at 65 or 75.
Okay, that's good.
But you're safer at 55 than you are at 75.
Right. We're not talking about
No, we're not
safety.
talking about safety.
About theory.
That's not part of the discussion. It's not admissible as evidence.
It's not admissible, no, because the prosecution did not open up that bag of worms. That's all. That's right.
So I have to tell my friend that she's right?
Well, you may have to.
Well, her position is it doesn't really make much difference, and then you'd have to tell her she's right.
On the other hand, you could tell her that you didn't get through to us. And you'll still be trying. See you, Joan.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Good luck.
June.
Bye.
Okay.
See you, Joan.
Bye.
We'll be right back with the answer to the puzzler after these messages. This message comes from eBay. Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix, tools scattered everywhere, and boom, you realize you're missing a part. It's okay because you know whatever it is, it's on eBay. They've got everything, brakes, headlights, cold air intakes, whatever you need, and it's guaranteed to fit, which means no more crossing your fingers and hoping you ordered the right thing. All the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
This message comes from Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Sending or spending money abroad? Hidden fees may be taking a cut. With Wise, you can convert between up to 40 currencies at the mid-market exchange rate. Visit wise.com. T&Cs apply.
Well, it's time once again to ask my brother whether he remembers last week's puzzler.
Do you mean the puzzler about baseball?
Oh,
I've been taking pills. I've been taking memory pills.
what are they called?
I can't remember. And I tell you, it's a wonderful feeling to be able to zoom, zing you right back. I mean, for years, for decades even. You've asked me, do you remember the puzzle? I don't remember no puzzle.
Yeah, but I've gotten the It was fun every week. There's no damn fun.
Yeah, you're right. And as I explained to you, I've always remembered the puzzler.
No,
and I always thought that it would be fun for you if I made believe that I didn't.
So I can't have fun anymore?
So, I mean, I guess I just got tired of being the brunt of your laughter and jeers. That's it. That's it.
All right, well, here it is.
But I can go back to the other.
Anyway, this puzzler comes from Philip Brett via our website, cartalk.msn.com, and here it is.
Yeah.
This puzzler involves an historic baseball game which took place in June of this year, i.e. 1997. It was notable not for what happened that day, but for what didn't happen. And it had nothing to do with the actual playing of the game, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't like 17 home runs were hit or weren't hit, or there were 3 no-hitters pitched in the course of one game, or something like that. And this thing that didn't happen has not happened.
Yeah.
For more than like 50 years, I think. And the question very simply was, if you could figure out all those double negatives, what was it that happened? Or more importantly,
didn't happen. Yeah.
I mean, I could have given a hint, but I believe on June 30th,
June 30th.
1997,
Yeah.
there was a baseball game played, a Major League Baseball game, not an exhibition game, but a bona fide game played between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Montreal Expos. And the American national anthem was not played. It's the first time the two Canadian teams played each other because of interleague play.
So what did they do? Allons enfants de la patrie? No.
Well, they played "O Canada." Oh, Canada, da 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 da, da 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 da, we stand on guard for thee.
Very good.
And they burned my LTD. Remember that?
They did.
Well, anyway.
So what didn't... Really?
It could be complete baloney. But, boy, did it sound good or what?
Sure, I mean, it would make sense that the American national anthem had been played every single game in Major League Baseball.
Because up until that, it's only been played for about 50 years, I believe.
Well, it wasn't written until 1945.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's only been played for about 50 years.
By Robert Louis Stevenson.
At every baseball game.
Yeah.
Every baseball game, except it was unnecessary to play it at this game.
So usually when American teams play Canadian teams, they do both?
Well, yes, they would do both, but because there's only one Canadian team in each league, until this year, there was no opportunity for two Canadian teams to ever play each other. But this year, it happened. Pretty darn good, eh, Tommy?
I hope it's right.
I do, too. It'll be another embarrassment. My ego can't take it. Who's our winner this week?
Well, before you ask me who the winner is, I'd like to tell you that the winner is Sandy Falk. Wow, that's an unusual name. Falck from South Euclid, Ohio. Is that where they make the Euclid off-road vehicles with the tires that are 25 feet tall?
I bet you they do.
I bet it is.
Oh, I would love to drive one of those, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you love to crush a few Hyundais with one of those things?
I still remember the day when the little Bobcat was in my backyard because they were doing landscaping, and my brother gets in it. And you could see the look on his face. I mean, things were happening inside.
Diabolical little look.
Things were happening inside.
And within 30 seconds, I had it hotwired.
He notices that the ignition switch looks like it's broken. So he takes out a screwdriver out of his pocket and he sticks it in. He turns it, and the thing starts. And the look of ecstasy. It was...
You gotta admit that I mastered all the controls in a matter of seconds.
Everyone in the yard scattered because we knew.
And you know what? You didn't really need those 3 rhododendrons near the house. You really didn't.
I don't miss them.
It looks much cleaner without them.
As does without the back porch. That was exciting, wasn't it?
Oh.
Eddie, where were we?
I don't know.
Oh, the winner. Oh, so talk about digressing.
Oh, that's it.
South Euclid. That's what did it. Sandy Falk from South Euclid, Ohio. And for having your answer chosen from among both right answers that we got this week, Sandy, you're going to win our very latest album, a collection of our favorite calls about couples and cars called Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford, which is zooming to the top of the bestseller list in this country and in several countries overseas. It's the best audio product to toss in the basement.
Anyway, we have a brand new puzzle coming up in the second. Brand new! Brand new!
Yeah, well.
Don't touch that dial. In the meantime, we'll take your calls at 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hey, guys. This is Katie in Portland, Oregon.
Katie, how you doing?
Good.
That's great.
So what's shaking, Katie?
Well, listen, I think this is a real mystery for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a 1990 Volvo 740 wagon that I bought about a year and a half ago.
I got news for you. Just about everything is a real mystery for us. Continue.
Okay. About 6 months or so I would notice when I started driving that my right leg would start going numb, like losing circulation. And then I would be barreling down the freeway, lifting myself off the seat with my left leg, just so I could try to get some blood flow back into my leg.
Really?
Which, negates any possible safety features of the Volvo, I think.
It probably does. Now, tell me again when you bought this vehicle.
About a year and a half ago.
A year and a half. And how long did it take for this numbness to occur?
I think about a year.
Oh,
And-
a whole year.
Yeah.
So you drove the car without a problem for a year, and it's
Drove
only recently.
Well, without a problem that I'm going to go into with you guys. The list of problems is endless. This is just one. This is the most
Mechanical. We're not
interesting-
interested
Right.
whatsoever in any of the mechanical problems.
No, this is a medical problem, man.
Well-
we can broaden our horizons into medicine.
I've always wanted to try medicine. It seems so easy on the surface.
Especially orthopedics.
Yeah, you RH negative or what?
Yeah. So we
I
got
thought-
numbness in the right leg.
Numbness in the leg.
Is it all the way from the thigh down into the, what do you call that part? Yeah.
The foot.
Yeah.
Orthopedics is good. It's just one step more difficult than dermatology.
It's going to be one heck of a zit. To stump the dermatologist. All right, go on. I'm sorry, Katie.
We're taking this way too lightly, and we apologize.
All right,
I mean,
so
you
you
have to
drive, and you've got numbness in the entire length of your right leg.
Pretty much the entire. I'd say more in the foot, but definitely the entire.
More in the
But
foot.
it starts right at your rump, huh?
Well, I didn't want to get into that on the radio, but yes, you're right.
It does.
Yeah.
Do you jog?
No.
You should start.
Right leg.
I think you have a classic case of bad circulation.
I thought that, except here's the mystery. It doesn't happen in any other car that I drive or am a passenger in.
Right, it doesn't, because what's happening, I think, is the angle of the seat is cutting off the circulation just above your knee. And the reason I know this is we get an opportunity to test drive, with few exceptions, just about everything that's sold. Like we don't test drive Jaguars or Chevrolets anymore, but everything else we get to test drive pretty much. But there are many cars which I find uncomfortable for that very reason, because the seat is either too short or too long, or the angle's peculiar, and you can't. A lot of cars don't have seats that you can adjust very much. The best cars have electric seats where you can adjust the seat to avoid problems like this.
In fact, my wife drove a Mazda. What was that thing called?
MPV.
Yeah, MPV for several years, and she complained of a knee injury.
A multiple pane vehicle.
Yeah, knee and foot. Multiple pane vehicle. And she tried to convince me that it was because of the angle of the seat. The angle that her leg made when she sat on this seat, and that the only thing that would solve it would be if she had a Mercedes.
Well, that was my next question.
I would recommend a Mercedes.
Okay.
Tell your husband.
Great.
That's the only thing that's going to cure it.
Well, that was actually, I've been trying to get a new car, and you're giving me the exact answer that I wanted without much prompting on my part.
No, none at all. The check you sent helped.
Do you have a Caribbean contingent in Portland, Oregon?
A Caribbean contingent.
Yeah, you have people from the West Indies.
Yeah?
Portland's not known for its
Well, because all the
diversity.
Jamaican cab drivers in the greater Boston area, and I don't know if other ethnic groups use these, they have these things they put on their seats that
The
look
beads.
like beads.
Oh, those bead massage things.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think you should try that.
No. We got the woman a Mercedes here. You want your husband to go out and buy a $6 bead thing?
The real question is, did your wife get the Mercedes?
Of course not.
Of course not.
She got the beads.
Those beads are great, though.
Give me your number. I'm going to call her and commiserate.
Well, you might, if you don't want to spring for the expensive car, try the beads. They may provide enough muscular stimulation to get the blood flowing better.
Okay, so after having spent an arm and a leg on a used car, I now have to go buy more for it. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Hey, Katie, it's been a joy and a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you so much.
And enjoy your new car.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't move, because more calls and the new puzzler are coming right up. You're listening to Car Talk
Don't scare me like that.
from National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tapper Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars, of course, and car repair if we absolutely have to, and a few more items for the Roadkill menu.
Remember the Roadkill Cafe menu? Well, according to Bobby Lyle, he claims he actually does have a restaurant called the Roadkill Restaurant.
Well, there is a national chain, I believe, called the Roadkill Cafe.
Yeah.
Which has some interesting interestingly named items, although they really aren't.
Well, I mean, I'll just run through a few of these. I mean, some of these we may have discussed at an earlier time.
Shoot,
but
baby.
I liked chunk of skunk, a smidgen of pigeon, road toad a la mode, and rigor mortis tortoise. How about anything dead on bread? Rack of raccoon, a smear of deer. I like that one. And let's see. That's it.
What's your personal favorite?
My personal favorite would be anything dead on bread.
In bad taste.
It's in bad taste, yeah.
And probably tastes bad, too.
That's why we love it so much.
Okay, it's time for the new puzzler.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
new historic.
I have a plethora of potentially putrid puzzlers from which to choose, and I've chosen this one.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll have to embellish it.
I'll try not
and
to
obfuscate it.
I'll try not to get you into any trouble.
A few years ago, I was vacationing in upstate New York, and I was in a little sleepy town called Cold Springs.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with anything, but that's where I was.
We never know. We've got to pay attention.
I lie. And I had occasion to go to an antique auction. Not an old auction, but an auction of antiques, that is, where they claim to have some rare and priceless antiques, stuff that collectors would really want.
Yeah.
One of the items that comes up is a child's sled, a wooden sled, that the auctioneer claims was made by George Washington himself.
Wow. Does it say Rosebud on it?
There's teeth marks from his wood. And he turns the thing over, and carved into one of the wooden slats is G. Washington.
Yeah.
September 10, 1752. Now, I remember from 6th grade that the square root of 3 is George Washington's birthday.
Exactly.
1732 is when Washington was born, so he would be 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it would stand to reason that at the age of 20, not having launched his military career, he would be engaged in
making sleds.
Making sleds for maybe his own kids or maybe a niece or a nephew. So I'm ready to bid $20 on the thing, and someone in the crowd pipes up and says, "It's a fake!" Wow.
Yeah.
You have all the information necessary.
Yeah. And then some.
And then some.
And then some. All right. Now, what if someone actually thought he or she knew the answer?
Well, if you think you know the answer, or you're really peeved at your boss and you'd like to spend a few hours on the internet, you can do one of several things. You can mail us a letter to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge.
Our fair city.
Ma 02238. Or you can email us while you're visiting our website and spending your lunch hour and maybe a few other hours.
That's right.
You know,
if
doing
your boss comes by, you hit the boss button.
There you go.
No problem.
Our website is cartalk.msn.com. So you're just going to click on the Talk to Car Talk section, and you can communicate with us electronically. And if we choose your correct answer at random, from amongst all the correct answers, you'll get your very own copy of our brand new CD called Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford, or some other gift from the Shameless Commerce Division's Holiday Boutique. Our number is 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Fran in Columbia, Missouri.
Fran.
Hi.
Columbia, Missouri.
That's right.
What's shaking?
I inherited from my grandfather a 1989 Lincoln Town Car. Now, the good news is it only has 43,000 miles on it. I mean, literally, this is one of those
little old lady stories.
Yeah, little old man story.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I ended up with this car is that I have a 15-year-old daughter who will soon be driving, and my father thought, well, here's a safe car. A lot of metal around her.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be caught dead in one of those, would she?
Well, my husband had to fly down to Florida and drive this car back. Now, when he got to Florida, called him on the phone. I said, oh, so tell me about the car. Being a man of few words, he goes, it's a hog.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, it is.
So, he drove it home, and my daughter walked out and took a look at it, and she goes, "Cool, a party barge."
There you go. There you go. She was looking at that back seat.
She liked it.
I know. Well, see, now this concerns me. I got to say, she said I can fit 10 people in the back seat.
A party barge. I love it.
Yeah.
So, I've been looking at this car thinking, well, what am I going to do with it, I went to drive it, and it makes I guess it's the belts go, make this real ee kind of sound, and then when you turn the heater on, more ee noises start coming. And
Yeah, those are nothing.
Although you want to keep all those noises, because when she tries to sneak out of the house at 11:30, you'll hear her start the car. Don't fix any of those noises.
Yeah. And you'll hear her coming home.
Well, that's the other thing. I figure, Columbia's not a very big town. I mean, this girl driving around in this car, my friends will be able to keep an eye on her.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw Erica, downtown in the car. So, but, then
So,
All them fellas hanging out the windows.
So your daughter wants the car.
Well,
she wants to drive it, and you have some kind of second thoughts about it.
Well, I'm wondering, she may have to quit school and get a job at McDonald's just to afford the gas on it.
Well, I'm thinking of it. If I had a 15-year-old daughter, would I want her to be driving this car? And I haven't convinced myself one way or the other. Granted, it's a lot of iron around you, which makes it safe. On the other hand, it handles like for nothing.
Right.
It's rotten.
It's
terrible. It's lousy.
It's horrible.
It can't go around a curve without tipping upside down.
Where she's going to be going with this, the handling of the car is not going to be there'll be other handling going on.
Oh, no, that's it. It's sold.
It's gone.
That's all she had to hear.
I'm buying her a little two-seater thing with bucket
You need a two-seater there. She needs a Geo Metro.
Or a motorcycle.
Yeah, Geo Metro. Well, I had to tell you, it was my moral responsibility as a parent.
No, I think she will not get into trouble with this car. I think she should drive it.
Well, maybe there's some way that you can modify the back seat to make it uninviting.
Yeah.
Well, my thought was to take all the seats out and just put like an airline pilot seat right in the center.
There you go.
That would be good. I'm saying you should keep this car. You should take it down to your mechanic, have him change all the vital fluids, have him change the belts, take a look at the hoses and stuff that have been sitting there for all those years, make sure the tires are okay, and start giving Erica some lessons in driving the monster, because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, she can go to James T. Kirk School of Starship Driving.
All right.
Yeah, maybe Joe Hazelwood's still around. Is he still kicking?
Yeah, he is.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your advice.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Sure you do.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Whew.
While you've wasted an otherwise perfectly good hour listening to Car Talk, our esteemed producer is Doug the Subway Fugitive Berman. Our associate producer and Dean of the College of Automusicology is Ken Babyface Rogers. Our assistant producer is Catherine Crystal Ray, and our engineer is Jonathan Marston. Our technical, spiritual, and otherwise life issue advisor is Mr. John S. Lawler. The Stump the Chumps theme is by B.J. Liederman. Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Marge in Overa. Our director of new product repair is Warren T. Myfoot. From the New Delhi office, our blues coordinator is Mohammedan Tolmi. Our document security expert from the island of Jamaica is Euripides Upman. Our Italian governess is Donna De Everlearn. And our East Asian used car expert is Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Our evasive driving instructor is Vera Brupley. Our Boston traffic director, Tom. You got anything to add to this, Mr. Radio Man?
Well, actually, now that you mentioned...
Shut up! Car Talk is a production of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe and WBUR in Boston.
And even though Sylvia Poggioli considers renouncing her U.S. citizenship every time she hears us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
James Baldwin was an activist, an orator, a style icon, but on NPR's Book of the Day, we'll dissect the thing he was most known for, his writing.
That last clause kind of reads like a horror story.
Right? There's something deeply, deeply ominous about the way that opening paragraph closes.
Celebrate Black History Month with us as we examine some of his best works on NPR's Book of the Day podcast.
It's Oscar season, and we watched the nominated movies so you don't have to. We are making some bold predictions for Hollywood's biggest night, and we may help you win your Oscars pool. Listen to the Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast from NPR.
When she teaches her students how to write a song, musician Scarlett Keyes says they need to ask themselves certain questions.
What is the thing that keeps you up at night? What's the thing you can't stop thinking about? As songwriters, we are repurposing human tropes and a new viewpoint with new words, with new music.
The people and technology behind the soundtracks of our lives. That's on the TED Radio Hour podcast from NPR.